Welcome to week 2 on this creation money journey, masterclass, whatever you want to call it. Now, something I'm going to say is very important. No AI. Now, this is me, genuine Mark. All my content is me. All the spelling mistakes are me. It's just me because AI is killing us, right? It's making up the world full of fake people. You've got no idea what's real and what's not real. But anyway, this is about my journey that I want to share because I want you to do this too. And I want to give you all the lessons that I've learned over the years on how to create money. So this is about 60Ks in 120 days. 60Ks for me is £60,000. For you, it could be dollars or euros or whatever. Okay. And I have attached to the end of that sentence something very important. And it is if my life depended on it. Because you can go, oh, yeah, I've got a target. Targets are a waste of time. Because you've got no emotional vested interest. But when you go, I've got to get 60Ks in 120 days, if my life depended on it, you would wake up the next day and you'd be like this, right, what am I going to do? What help am I going to get from the 99? Because it's a balance at the end of the day. It's about doing, which is physical activities, and being, which is the spiritual partnership, the spiritual help that combines the two. So, for example, very quick lesson. This isn't the main lesson. This is just a quick story I want to tell you. So yesterday I was chasing money. Never chase money. It's like a dog chasing its tail. A dog's like, I'm getting there. I'm nearly there. I'm getting my tail. But they get nowhere. Yesterday I was getting nowhere. So there's a lesson that I learned a long time ago. Never chase money because you push it further and further away. But see, when you ignore money, everything changes. So I went outside. I've got this big bag of soil, topsoil, and I got my wheelbarrow and my shovel, and I filled up the wheelbarrow. I went back and got planters, about to do peas and things, and I filled it up. And I filled up the next one. It took me about 2 hours to do all the gardening. Okay, you kind of go, you should be working. No. There's a balance here between doing and being. I was being, right? I was being myself. I was being in nature. I was being. I then went to a community meeting, and out of the blue, somebody comes up to me and says, Mark, could you help me on this job? I need you to do blah, 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 blah. And then there's more work to follow. And I went, right, okay, yep, I'd be happy to do that. I'll give you £1,000. And I was like, oh, okay. Now that would take me 2 to 3 days to turn that around. It's a good piece of work, something I enjoy doing. So into my pot is going to be £1,000. Ta-da! So anyway, what I want you to grasp is that everything that I give you over these 12 weeks is like pieces of jigsaws, but the pieces then connect together. And because they connect together, you start to see a much bigger picture, a much more important picture that explains how life really works, so that you can get the money that you want, you can get the health that you want, you can get the life that you want, and you can get the relationships that you want. Because I want to put you in charge of your life. And today's big topic is destiny. And as things stand at the moment, and I'm going to be very, very unpopular, you have no control over your life because your destiny is fixed. But I'm going to come on to that. So some really important things I just want to kind of tell you about is that as much as I'm telling you about how to do things, about 80% of it is about how not to do something. Because everyone's been educated in the wrong way. They've been given the wrong knowledge, wrong belief systems. And this is all part of an agenda by the elite so that you stay poor and you keep borrowing more money and then you effectively become their slave. It's the way the system has been built in our world. So if you can change the 80% of things that you're doing wrong, then the 20% then becomes really easy to implement. So the knowledge that I give you clears away the 80%, and then the doing bit I give you takes you forward. Okay? Very simple. It works fantastically well. So no AI, it's a journey. You're going to benefit every single week because of the jigsaw bits that connect together so that you will grow as a person. But this week, I want to talk about destiny. I tend to be the most unpopular person in the room because I tell the truth. And what I'm going to explain is different to probably nearly everybody that you've spoken to about destiny. Because people go, oh, yes, my destiny is this, and I can change my destiny because I've got free will. That's total nonsense. Free will does exist, and it's about giving you a choice, but it only works on small things, what I call a local level. But free will is too weak to change your destiny, because when you're born, and see it like a loop, everything that happens in your life, the people you meet, the decisions you make, the mistakes you have, the accidents, the making money, the losing money, the broken hearts, it was always going to happen. Everything was always going to happen. And everything from today and tomorrow and next week and next month and 10 years and whenever, coming right back in the loop, is always going to happen because your destiny is fixed. So this is really important, because if you're struggling with money now, your destiny, scenario number one, might be you're never going to have money. Never have money. It doesn't matter how much you work, the effort you put in, how many courses you pay for, what you invest in. It's never going to work. You're always going to be poor. And then that poorness then affects your mental health, relationships. I know about that. And your physical health, and just a whole lot. And it's awful. Scenario number two is your destiny says tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year, maybe 10 years, you're going to have the money. So it's irrelevant again how hard you work, because the money was always going to come into your life. But the problem that you have and the problem that I have is we've got no idea what is in our future, what's to come around the corner. So becoming superhuman is all about increasing your consciousness. Because if you increase your consciousness, then you start to be able to pick and choose the type of life that you want. That's why I've asked you, what is your perfect life? Define your perfect life. If you're unable to define your perfect life, how are you going to have one? So this is where, for a point of reference, if you go and ask most gurus what consciousness is, they're going to give you one of two answers. They're either going to turn around and say, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to make no sense. And there's no way you can test it, no way you can justify it. Or they're going to look at you and go, no one's asked me that one before. But they'll talk about it, but they'll never define it. So I'm going to define it for you, and then I'm going to tell you how it works, and I'm going to show you why that is important, because it means that you can then define your destiny, or redefine your destiny, I should say. So consciousness is a number of different things. It's an energy, like liquid. That's a form of energy, just a different form of energy. It is about the amount of spiritual maturity that you have. And consciousness is also equal to the amount of soul that you have with your mind and body in this physical world. Because ordinary humans, which is 99.999% of the population, when they're born, they have 1% of their soul with their mind and their body. The other 99% is still in the spiritual world. And so what they've got to do is they've got to increase that 1% to 2, to 3, to 5, to 10, to 20. Because the more that you have of your soul with your mind and the body, the more knowledge and the more power and the more spiritual maturity you have. So think of it like a car. You've got a car that can go 100 miles an hour. But because you've only got 1% consciousness, 1% of your soul, the car can only go 1% of what it should be able to do. So you drive this car at 1 mile an hour, but everybody around you is driving at 1 mile an hour. So it feels normal. Okay? Do you understand? This is how we see the world. And then somebody goes flying past you at 60 miles an hour, and you're like, wow. But that's because they've got 60% consciousness. So the name of the game is for you to increase the amount of consciousness, the amount of soul you have with your mind and your body. So your power increases, your abilities increase. And the more you have of that, it means that the more decisions, correct decisions, and defining of your destiny you can make. So I'll give you another thing. So we all know about deja vu. You go somewhere and you go, I've been here before. You meet somewhere and go, I've met you before, but where? Or you're watching something and you know what's going to happen next. Or you speak to someone and you know what they're going to say next. This is deja vu. But if you've got 1% of your soul, 1% of your consciousness, you can only see 1% of the future. But imagine if you had 20% consciousness. It means that you could see 20% of the future. So you then go, right, I'm able to make a different decision there. I'm going to be able to avoid that mistake, and I'm going to do this differently. And that then changes your destiny, and your destiny gets better and better. So the more soul, the more consciousness you have, the better and better and better and better your life gets, because you're able to make choices and define the life that you want. So this lesson is for you to understand what destiny is. And you should be turning around and giving it, there is no way I'm going to have my destiny defined in my life. I want to be in charge of my destiny. I want to have the life that I want. I want to feel excited. I have a fun life where I'm healthy and I'm relaxed and everything's great. But you can only do that if you take charge and you become superhuman, which means you've increased your consciousness. And you can do that in so many different ways, which is what I will teach you. So that is destiny. That is how destiny works. And now that you've got that knowledge, everything else, because it's a piece of the jigsaw, starts to fit together and make some sense. So I'm going to give you some homework. Okay? Homework. It's 3 questions I'm going to ask you. You've got to do the homework. If you choose to go, nah, I'm not going to do it, there's no point you being here. Go somewhere else. Go and play on TikTok or do whatever you want to do. Because this is about people that want to go on this journey. It's about becoming superhuman. So question number 1. How much money do you want? How much? Come on. I'm asking you right now. How much money do you want? Now, if you go a big number, like $1 million, it makes it more difficult. You want to start with a smaller number because it makes you more comfortable. It's more believable. I've gone for 60Ks because I know that 60Ks is achievable. And you want to build that confidence around a smaller number and then do it again at a bigger number and then do it again at a bigger number. It's a journey. So that's question number 1. Number 2, what do you want the money for? Now, if you go, oh, it'll just be good to have. Rubbish. You've got no emotional investment. You've got to have a reason for things. So you go, I want 60K like you, Mark, and 30,000 is going to pay off the credit cards. 30,000 goes in the bank. I don't have much of an income coming in, so it supports my income. It gives me financial freedom. So that's great. And I'd say magic. That works. Number 3, how's that going to make you feel? This money, how's it going to make you feel? You've got to be emotionally invested in this. So go back to the previous question, 60K, and you go, oh, I pay off my credit cards. Oh, the relief. I'm going to feel so relaxed because I've got no more payments each month. And then the money is in my bank is going to be great because it's going to make me feel free. And I'll go, that's amazing. Can you feel that? And you go, yes. And so when you wake up in the morning, you're waking up in the morning and you got, all that emotion and you got that emotion. And that's what you've got to be able to feel. Because that money is so close to you right now if you feel the right way. But you've got to put the energy in. We're going to deal with energy maybe next week. And I'm going to show you what energy is and how you can increase it. And it's that energy that then turns itself into money. So those are the 3 questions that you need to answer. What I'd like you to do is do them and then comment below done. Some of these questions are very personal, so there's no need to go into any detail. You can just go done. I've done it. And then I know who's doing the work. So that is what you've got to do. Now, if you want to go into even more depth, I've got a money creationary course. So I have about 40 modules. I'll give the link. It's on Skool. I've got 3 courses on there, Becoming Superhuman, and a 3-day Jumpstart Superhuman course. But the money creation one is usually $180. Because you're on here, it's $45. Okay, so you can do that course, and then you can do that in conjunction with the stuff that we're doing here, if you want to, or otherwise come back every week, and then we'll run this over 12 weeks. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. So that's it. That's your destiny. You know what it is, and you've got to change it. And we're going to change it. And we're going to change it in a way using money, because I'm going to get you really excited about the opportunity of bringing money into your life. And it might come in small bits. It might come in big chunks. Who knows? Who knows? But I want you to be in charge of your life, and you create the life that you want to have. But you've got to be able to define your perfect life. And if you've yet to do that, because I said that was the first thing you've got to do when you join, do it now. Define your perfect life, and I can help you achieve it. The most important thing out of everything is you must always stay excited.